During this time of increased economic uncertainty, it is more important than ever that the Federal Reserve fulfills its dual mission of maximizing employment and supporting price stability. There is no doubt that it is difficult, and the needle that has to be threaded is very specific. However, the human cost is simply too great for us to get this wrong. Sometimes we need to be reminded that there are real people behind the economic data and that the actions taken by both Congress and the Fed have real consequences for everyday Americans. Everyday Americans who want to know that myself and my colleagues are dedicated to creating an economy that actually works for them, which is why I was pleased that last week the Federal Reserve decided to pause your interest rate hikes and take stock of the overall economic picture. Now, don't get me wrong, there's certainly more work ahead of us, but with 13 million jobs added since President Biden took office, we should be rooting for America to succeed and not to fail. The strength of the labor market continues despite the multiple concurrent shocks that continue to reverberate throughout the global economy. And I believe our economy remains resilient thanks to the historic investments that were included in the legislation passed last Congress and signed into law by President Biden. These beneficiaries of these investments were the people, the middle class, not special interest. The bipartisan infrastructure law is creating construction jobs and projects that will help ease supply chain challenges and ensure safer transportation for everyone. President Biden and congressional Democrats are investing in technology that will define the 21st century, components to generate solar and wind energy, semiconductors, and electric vehicles that will all be made here in America. Just last week, Treasury Secretary Yellen was before this committee and described how the transformational investments from the Inflation Reduction Act are ushering in a renaissance of domestic manufacturing. These are good-paying jobs, union jobs, that are expanding our production capacity here at home while reducing our reliance on goods imported from abroad. As I indicated in the editorial by my hometown newspaper, the Las Vegas Sun, remarks that annual investments in manufacturing construction has more than doubled its pre-pandemic levels. Furthermore, when we narrow the focus to the region, including Nevada, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that in just 2 years, private manufacturing construction increased almost tenfold. So if we want to rebuild the American middle class, we must do so from the middle out and by investing in modern infrastructure and modern manufacturing facilities. But this does not mean that everything is improving equally. I've heard time and again from my constituents about the cost of housing being one of their biggest pain points. The Monetary Policy Report points out that housing services prices have risen a shocking 8.5% over the 12-month period ending in April, and in my district, it's even worse. So, Chair Powell, at a time where it has become increasingly difficult for working Nevadans to purchase a home, I worry that rising mortgage rates will put working families even further behind on accessing the wealth and equity that a house provides. While higher rates have cooled some housing markets across the country, what do you see as the biggest remaining upward pressure on housing services, and what can we do in Congress to incentivize new home starts to hopefully moderate the imbalance between supply and demand in the housing market?
Oh, wow, friends. They are taking big action. The Biden administration just revealed its new plan to allocate billions of dollars in federal funding to new programs. Many are wondering whether monthly payments worth $300 will be returning this year, as our lawmakers propose new legislation to expand the tax credits. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaways, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My dearest friends, the more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. This week, the Biden administration outlined how states across the country will be receiving billions of dollars in federal funding for high-speed internet access. This highlights the U.S. government's push to bring connectivity to more Americans and close the digital divide. The White House said that more than $42 billion from the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law will be distributed to U.S. states and territories for building internet access, with Texas eligible for the largest award of more than $3.3 billion, followed by California, which could receive more than $1.8 billion. Biden stated in a recent speech, "We are talking today about a major investment that we're making in affordable, high-speed internet all across the country." So all U.S. states and territories have been awarded at least some funding, starting with the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is eligible for $27 million under the initiative known as Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment Program. The program marks one of the largest ever infusions of federal money for bringing disconnected households and businesses online, and it reflects months of work by the U.S. government to design new and updated broadband maps, showing which areas of the country remain unserved or underserved. According to the Federal Communications Commission, 7% of U.S. households and businesses, representing 8.5 million physical locations and tens of millions of individual Americans, do not have broadband internet access. According to the White House, states and territories may begin applying for the funds as soon as July 1st. After the applications are approved by the Commerce Department, state officials will gain access to at least 20% of their eligible awards. Under the infrastructure law, U.S. states had been guaranteed at least $100 million in funding, while U.S. territories were promised at least $25 million. 19 states received more than $1 billion in the final allocation, adding that the states receiving the most funding were Alabama, California, Georgia, Louisiana, and Michigan. This week's announcement marked the launch of a 3-week nationwide tour by President Biden and other White House officials to tout the administration's economic plan. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. A reintroduced bill is hoping to make the monthly child tax credit permanent and include a $2,000 baby bonus. The American Family Act was reintroduced by Democratic Congress members Rosa DeLauro, Richie Torres, and Susan Delbene. It is also co-sponsored by 204 members of Congress. The bill's fact sheet states it was reintroduced to ensure the expanded and improved monthly child tax credit is made permanent. The bill states that families with children 6 years old and under will receive $300 per month or $3,600 a year. Families with children 6 to 17 years old will receive $250 a month or $3,000 per year. Officials have said that this provides for monthly delivery of the credit so that families have access to the credit as bills arrive. Currently, the child tax credit is $2,000 payable at tax time and not in monthly installments. Officials have also reported that there would be an increase in the size of the credit the month a baby is born. That increase would be $2,000. For a child born in January, the outlet reported, the household will receive a total of $5,300 for that year. It would then decrease to the typical $3,600 the following year. The current child tax credit expires in 2025. It is available in the full amount for married couples who file joint returns and who earn up to $400,000, or for individuals who earn up to $200,000 a year. But for families of about 19 million U.S. children, they are not receiving the full payment because their parents earn too little or have no income. Representative Rosa DeLauro said in a press release, "These monthly payments lifted nearly 4 million children out of poverty in 1 year alone. It worked, and it is time we get working for families and children once more." Well, my beautiful and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway this coming Friday. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, my friends, of winning the giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed Tuesday.